My parents left me with grandma because they never wanted me. They sold everything and moved abroad. When I was 16, now they're back and want to see me. I said it's too late. My parents left me with my grandma when I was a kid because they never wanted me. They sold everything and moved abroad when I turned 16. Now they're back and want to see me. I told them it's too late. I was 4 years old the first time my parents left me at my grandmother's house and didn't come back for 3 months. No call, no letter, nothing. They came back for a little while. Then they left again when I was 6, and again when I was 8. Each time grandma would bring me home to her little house. She'd make me soup and let me sleep in her bed until I stopped crying. By the time I was 10, I stopped crying. I just expected it. My parents weren't cruel people in the usual way. They didn't hit me. They didn't scream at me. They just didn't want to be parents. They wanted to travel. They wanted freedom. They wanted a life that didn't include a child. My mom told me once when I was 9 while brushing my hair that having me was the biggest mistake of her life. She said it calmly, like she was talking about a bad restaurant choice. She said, "I love you, but I wasn't built for this. You're better off with grandma anyway." At 12, I moved in with grandma permanently. My parents signed some paperwork and grandma got legal guardianship. They kept the house for a while, came back now and then, but I could tell they were already halfway gone. They'd show up, stay a few days, take me to lunch like we were old friends catching up, and then leave. My dad would ruffle my hair on the way out. Grandma would hold me while I stared at the door. When I was 16, they sold the house. I found out because a neighbor told me, not my parents, a neighbor. When I called my mom, she said they'd found a place in Portugal. She said the cost of living was better there and they'd always dreamed of living by the ocean. She said grandma would take good care of me. She said I could visit someday. Someday. They moved overseas and I stayed in a small town with an old woman who loved me more than 2 healthy adults ever could. Grandma raised me right. She went to every school event, helped with homework she barely understood, drove me to prom in her old car, and sat front row at my graduation, crying so hard the woman next to her gave her tissues. She told me every single day that I was enough, that I was wanted, that I mattered. She died when I was 24. Heart failure. I was with her at the end. She held my hand the same way she did when I was 4, and the last thing she said to me was, "I'm so proud of who you are." My parents didn't come to her funeral. My mom sent flowers and a card that said, "She was a wonderful woman." That card almost made me break something. They didn't know the half of it. I built my life without them. I became a physical therapist. I got married to a man named Jordan who treats me like grandma did, like I'm worth showing up for. We bought a small house, we have a dog, we're thinking about kids, and then, last month, my parents came back. My mom called from a local number. I didn't recognize it. When I picked up and heard her voice, my stomach flipped. She said they'd moved back to the States. She said Portugal got too expensive. She said they were getting older and they missed me. They wanted to reconnect. They wanted to be part of my life. My dad got on the phone. He said, "We know we weren't perfect, but we're here now. We'd love to see you." I sat in my car for 10 minutes after that call, gripping the steering wheel, trying to figure out what I felt. It wasn't anger. It wasn't sadness. It was nothing. A big, flat nothing. Like they were strangers asking me for a favor. I called my mom back that evening. She picked up on the first ring. Before she could talk, I said what I needed to say. "You left me when I was 4. You left me again and again until it became normal. You signed me over to grandma like I was a lease you wanted out of. You moved to another country and didn't look back. You didn't come to her funeral. And now you're back because Portugal got expensive and you want a daughter again?" My mom was quiet. Then she said, "We made mistakes." I said, "You didn't make mistakes. You made choices. Every single time you chose yourselves over me." She started to cry. I said, "I have a good life. I have people who love me. I have everything I need. And none of it came from you." She asked if we could meet. Just coffee. Just to talk. I said no. She asked why. "Because grandma gave me everything you should have. And she's gone now. I'm not going to sit across from you at a coffee shop and pretend you get to be my parents because you came back." My dad called the next day. He was angry. He said I was being cold. He said they were trying and the least I could do was give them a chance. I said, "Grandma gave me 1,000 chances to be loved. You gave me a suitcase and a goodbye. That's the difference." He hung up. They've been in town for 3 weeks now. They drive by my street sometimes. Jordan saw them parked outside last Tuesday. I didn't go out. I don't hate my parents, but I don't need them either. That's the part they can't accept.